Salutations. Christmas Day, chilling out, been vegging out with the residents. Up there with Kraftwerk and the Ramones, the Residents are to me the most important band of the 1970s. They're all wild and wacky. They're all just, what can I say, I love them all very much. Yeah, after being on a Kraftwerk thing from Michael in Dusseldorf, I thought, well, the next thing, the only other band I can think of from the 70s is the Residents from the USA, and in that they wore, this is Icky Flicks DVD with 17 of their wonderful video clips to go along with their music. Yes, like Kraftwerk in that, they wore disguises. I have seen two of the original members. You can find them on YouTube, and they just don't look like anything at all. So it was a good idea to wear the eye masks. These are random. I did give a young friend of mine, James, who I work with in photo studio, and he ended up going off into the music business. He's 14 years younger than me at the time, back in the mid-80s, and I gave him these three, which I had on vinyl. Eskimo, I had that on white vinyl. I gave that to him after I bought the CD. Of course, years later you go, why did I do it? The Commercial album, I gave him that one as well. And this, which is I consider their masterpiece, the Third Reich and Roll. So I got that out of the way. There's not many to show because they didn't make that many albums. They didn't make that many albums that I consider worth really bothering with. But especially, I've never owned the first one. I've never owned the Santa Dog EP. They both came out, I think, in 1972, that early. But what is considered their second album is called Not Available. Great album. They were so advanced, this group. They were so far ahead of the time. This is the early 70s. Then the next one, the third album, was the Third Reich and Roll. That's Dick Clark, an American famous TV presenter and disc jockey, done up, dressed to the nines, in a Gestapo outfit. This is just a masterpiece. It's just bubblegum songs, one-hit wonders, garage punk sort of stuff from the 60s, and that's just them doing it in like as a concept piece, giving it their own peculiar or special treatment. As a supplement, I bought this CD because it's got Satisfaction on the CD. It wasn't on the original album. This is just unbelievable. This is their version of Satisfaction. With the mighty Phil Withman, also known as Snakefinger, on guitar. This is just mind-boggling. If you haven't heard the Residents doing Satisfaction, look it up on YouTube or somewhere and listen to it. I love the original by the Stones, but this, oh my God, it's, yeah, I don't know, what can you say? Imagine if, just listen to it, see what you think. I think it's probably one of the greatest singles ever made. Certainly not a top 4. Won't be a number one like the Stones version, I can tell you now. So then, I'm losing track of what came next in their album list. I don't think I did those. I think, oh yeah, Fingerprints. Now this is a great album too. I think this was number 4 album or number 3, Fingerprints. This is the original version I had, which I bought back in 74, 75, was just this really icky brown cover. It didn't do anything for me, and I gave that to my friend as well. And Ralph Records, the Cryptic Corporation. And then I found this a few years afterwards, and I went, wow, that looks better. It's a much more colourful cover. This is a great album. Yeah, very, very good. All these albums feature Snakefinger. Maybe not Eskimo, I can't remember because I haven't played that for a little while. So I did a video on this before. This is my second favourite Resonance album after the third Rock and Roll. I showed Baby Duck Stab, which is a little EP with I don't know, about six songs on it. Then the little baby EP grew up and became an LP. Duck Stab the album. This is those 6 tracks with probably roughly another 6 tracks. Bark is Dead, that's one of my favourites. Yeah. Constantinople. Here I come, Constantinople. Oh, it's just awesome. What an album, what a masterpiece. Say no more. Okay, so that's the early stuff. And of course, after the wonderful concept album, Eskimo, they brought out this hilarious which is like doing like disco versions of Old MacDonald Had a Farm using child's toy instruments. You got to hear it to believe it. It's laugh out loud. It really is. It's they went through a golden period, really, at the end there. To me, they ended in 1980-81. They had a good 7-year run, in my opinion. They were strictly a studio band. They didn't play live. No one knew who they were or where they were from. It was all part of the mystique of the Residents. I sent away for this to San Francisco, where they had been since 1972. Most of the guys are from Texas and Louisiana, but they'd been operating out of San Francisco. And I sent away and got the album. And I wish I haven't given it to my mate now, because it's got little things in there that just little pamphlets and stuff. Oh, yeah, CDs just don't got the magic. I think that's all ones except this one. This is their last great album, in my opinion. The commercial album with John Travolta and what's that? Oh, I don't know, some woman that screechy female singer. This has got 40 tracks. Every track goes for exactly 1 minute, and every one of them is killer. Any one of these, if some other group had been given any of these 40 tracks and let them work on it, they'd all be bloody hit songs. It's just unbelievable. Easter Woman, Perfect Love, Picnic Boy, Amber, it just goes on and on. I even like it. There's a track on here called Margaret Freeman. Well, that's my family name's Freeman, so I mean, I thought, wow, it's just awesome. And not only that, on the CD, because I have the album, 40 tracks, 20 tracks per side, 1 minute each, and on the CD you get an extra, oh Lord, another 9 tracks. So that's probably why I traded in the vinyl. But you got to love CDs for being able to put more more bang for your buck, as they say. So that is, I'll show my top 3 recommendations there. This one is from probably the late 80s, early 90s. Freak Show, I picture this. This was also a CD-ROM, which was, for its time, was mind-blowing. They were very, very involved in videos and the early, computer graphics and things. Freaks. It's good. Freak Show's good, but I just love their 70s output. I really don't need. And they put out something like 40 to 50 to 80 albums in their career, And to be honest with you, if you don't know the Residents, if somehow you really can get off on some of this stuff, and trust me, it is weird shit, but I love it. But the thing is, these are all safe bets, okay? This is a primer for someone that might be interested in a band that was at their peak over 40 years ago. So the 3 ones I recommend as absolutely essential are, here we are. There we are. Number 1, I would go with Duck Stab. Can't go wrong with this. It's catchy and it's weird and it's everything you want from a Residents, everything. And every track's a ripper. Number 2, I would go the commercial album, 40 1-minute songs. If you don't like it, it doesn't hang around long. If you do like it, it's not long enough. Clever. But number 1 to me will always be Third Reich and Roll, especially this CD is sought after because it actually has the Satisfaction single tacked on. But, if you're only going to have one Residents album, that's the one. I better get off, and I couldn't resist. I just couldn't. Bye for now.